Good morning, everybody. My name's Ann Rossley. I'm here with my dear friend and colleague, Kyle Harvey. We are with Baird Warner's Gold Coast office. We sell real estate in downtown Chicago, and we love to come to you every week to chat. Anyway, so I was in Vegas at the Luxury Portfolio Summit last week, and that is the network of the top independent real estate companies that sell luxury properties. The invitation to be a member goes to the company, and so Baird Warner is a member, and it's by invitation only. So not any company can just become a luxury company. So there were people from all over the world at this thing. I got to meet people from Portugal and Italy and all over, as well as the colleagues I see all the time from all of our feeder networks, meaning, all of our friends who are moving to Florida, moving to South Carolina, moving to Arizona, moving to Texas, got to network with all of those top luxury agents, New York, of course. And so it was great fun. Learned a lot.
Yay.
Didn't even put a nickel in a slot machine. I'm not a gambler.
Get a dime back?
Didn't do anything. But yeah, it was great. So anywho, today we are talking about Old Town. And I also have statistics. My statistics are brand new out of the box. And, today's only the 3rd. So anybody who didn't get their reporting in from end of the month closings, it might not be 100% accurate. I'm going to revisit it next week. But
one more thing, everybody who hasn't paid their first installment of their real estate taxes, it's due, I believe, tomorrow.
Boy, tomorrow's a big day then in Chicago, isn't it?
Get on it, peeps. Yeah. I say this as somebody who waited to the last minute herself, just because why not? But I paid it.
Thanks for the reminder. That's really good.
All righty, so let's see your stats.
Put it up here. Okay, so just an update on mortgages. We're not at the 7 anymore. They're down a little bit, 6.32. Condos, of course, are a shade higher, but people are getting used to the new normal. Let's talk lakefront communities, single family homes. This is the rolling 12 months. $1.7 billion worth of single family homes have sold in the lakefront communities over the past 12 months, down 23% versus the previous 12 months. In terms of number of homes for sale, we're up a little bit, but we're not significantly up like a typical spring market. Typically by March, April, we should be up, at good inventory levels. Yeah. And we're just not. 205. To give you a sense, we were at 645 in May of 18, pre-pandemic. Mm-hmm. Under contract, 63, which again is down, but again, that's due to inventory, right, Kyle?
Absolutely.
If you have nothing to sell, you're not going to sell.
The whole story is about inventory.
Yeah. Number of homes closed, 95. Now this has come up. So people are buying. It's down 9% versus previous year at this time. You can see that on the scale, but it's up.
No, it's down because of inventory. It's all about inventory. Go ahead.
So now this is interesting. Median sales price, $1,255,000. You can see, it's up 3.9 versus previous year. We were up to at 1.260. It's holding steady. And given the fact that interest rates have doubled in the last year, that still shows strength.
It really does.
Average price per square foot, $380 per square foot for a home. And the month supply of homes is 2.4, which is up 41.2%. We were a year ago at nothing.
Still very low. And it depends on the neighborhood, but very low.
Yes.
That is a seller's market.
For sure. And then showings per listing, 5.4. It says down 26, but this was the high of all time, as you can see, a year ago.
Is this through February? Is this through February, or is it into March?
Through March.
Oh, good heavens.
I'm bringing you March numbers. Woohoo!
Wow. I didn't know we could do it that fast.
Yeah.
But we also have during a number of vacations. March is a big month of people going out of town.
Right.
So I wonder if some of this little bit of a dip had to do with people being otherwise engaged.
Good point. Yeah, I think April will go up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at condos. Rolling 12 months, 5.6 billion is down 24% versus the previous 12 months, but still well above the 12 months before that. Number of condos for sale. Look how low this inventory is. Down even more, yeah. But look at the sales. Condos are coming back.
Going back to condos, I was doing a price opinion for a townhouse in East Lincoln Park, and there's one other one on the market. One.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a single family home coming on the market in Westtown, and there's just nothing. So, okay. So anyway, the number's 1060. We were at 1758 a year ago. Condos closed 886, down 35.2%. And these were the low. I mean, compare 886 to what beginning of the year at 426. We're up.
Well,
median sales price.
Going back to that, that is the end. Maybe April is the end of the low interest rates for closings. I mean, it just ends. Yeah.
Right.
I just got texted. I apologize. Distraction, people.
Condos have been hovering around 400,000 in median sales price since 2021. So that's pretty steady. The month supply, 2.5. Look at this. Showings per listing, 7.4. Higher than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Condo market very strong. And you know what I think that's a result of? I think that's the result of rents going up so much. I think people are saying, you know what, 6% interest rates, the new reality. Rents are, so high. Let me think about buying. Okay, here's showing time. Remember, this index is based on the arbitrary January of 2014. And just what's so interesting is in March of last year, the showing index was 268.
Okay.
Well, wow. But look at this, 192.2. We're still very strong.
Very strong.
So,
I mean, 185 in 2021. I mean, we're up. I mean, we're doing well.
Yeah, it's a good market. Absolutely. Well, let's talk Old Town.
Let's talk
your hood.
This is so we're going to talk about Old Town in two ways. I gotta go back to the beginning. There's the Old Town Triangle, and then there's Old Town itself. Old Town, the neighborhood, is bigger. It's not a community area, but it's bigger. So I'm going to right now. Hold on. What is that? Share screen. All righty. So now I'm going to pull it up in front of me so I know what I'm doing. So this is the Old Town Triangle. What would you say the boundaries of the Old Town neighborhood are? Sort of the triangle plus, then south to Division?
Right. People consider it to include east of Larrabee. I don't include Larrabee, but east of Larrabee to Wells from Division up. But yeah, that's Old Town. But it's a weird definition. Don't you agree?
Well, what made it a triangle? Do you see where my cursor is going up and down?
Mm-hmm.
See, and now I'm doing something crazy. Stop it. That is what used to be Ogden Avenue. Ogden Avenue used to come all the way to Clark Street. And during a previous, civic planning project, I think in the late 60s, they stopped Ogden way west at Chicago, right? Just in Chicago, or just a block or two further north of
Chicago, right?
And then they developed all that tract of land. Well, so the Old Town Triangle, you see how it used to be this, and the historic. So this is the triangle. So it goes. They've got it as it's Larrabee to what used to be the Ogden, and then this triangle to Clark Street, and then down to North Avenue. But within it is this historic landmark district that a lot of neighbors undertook to preserve the character of the old neighborhood. So originally, which I didn't know, it was a home to Native American tribes. So Potawatomi, Miami, and Illinois tribes. The Germans moved in 1850 into, it was a, inexpensive housing, a lot of houses, multiple unit dwellings. They built St. Michael's Church, which is one of the really pretty churches. It's because there are only low buildings around it. You can see it for miles. The fire came, it burned down, and then they rebuilt. So you will find in the historic district a lot of 1870s, 1880s workers' cottages and some low-rise apartment buildings. So that's what you'll see in the Old Town Triangle. So this gives you an example of some of the fancier buildings in the triangle. This is North Clark Street, and these buildings are still here. You know what you can sense it right now. This is probably, this looks like it's Wisconsin Avenue right there. So it's all along Clark Street facing the park. So cool. And these buildings still exist. These are the buildings on North Park Street, which is sort of smack in the heart of the triangle. If you've ever been to the Old Town Art Fair, this is the street that leads to the main gate to the Old Town Art Fair. And these buildings are condos, and they still exist. I think I may have a picture. So these on the left are the workers' cottages that were torn down. I'll show you the houses that were built to tear down. And this is the type of house that was torn down when my parents bought two of them and built a house. So you get to see Kyle Harvey at age 9 with two friends, her sister, cute little Sasha, and the builder. So those are the townhouses that replaced those workers' cottages. And probably one of the reasons that we have the Old Town Historic District was the sense of we're going to lose the character. And this is the house that my parents built after it was purchased by the most interesting guy who really modernized it and made it beautiful. But that was the house that they built. One of the great secrets of the Old Town Triangle and in the historic district is the old Menominee Club for boys and girls. Now it's grown enormously with another facility. Isn't it just sort of on the other side of North Avenue, but further west? I think it's near the
Drucker Center is, it's at, it's on Dayton, just south of North Avenue. So my husband, Tom, was president of Menominee Club board for years. I sat on the board, as did Tripty Castle, our senior vice president. We're big fans of Menominee Club. And back in the day, they had a little program that the kids could go to after junior kindergarten, because back in those days, it was only like a 2.5 hour day. And I have such happy memories of Menominee Club, and it was such a great place for the people in the community. The clubhouse is still there. FYI, the Old Town Art Fair is actually run by Menominee and the Old Town Triangle group. And so proceeds from the entrance fees benefit both Old Town Triangle and Menominee Club for boys and girls. So when you go and you pay your fee to go into the Old Town Art Fair, just know that you're benefiting those two very important community groups.
So when I was growing up, and it's later than this, our house was 3 doors down. We used to come after dinner, come here, and there would be like quiz night or movie night. It was just this building. And this gentleman here where my cursor is was Basil Kane. And he taught soccer to largely the boys, but there was tumbling. There was all sorts of fun. And that the fact that Menominee Club is part of the group that puts on the Old Town Art Fair is new, because it used to just be the Old Town Association.
Right.
So this is the Old Town Triangle Association building, with a large group of Japanese people who used to live in the neighborhood. The neighborhood used to have a lot of Japanese, and the Buddhist temple is just, I think it's just outside the triangle. Maybe, no, I think it's still within the.
It's in the boundaries. Yeah,
it's right there. And at the Old Town Art Fair, they set up a booth where they wonderful chicken, and But anyway, the Japanese moved out by the time we moved in. They moved to, probably the suburbs, larger neighborhoods, but it was I love this picture.
That's great.
So this is what's happened to some of these old houses along North Park. They've updated them, they've kept them. So this building used to be a garage where I've got my thing, be a door where the fancy cars servicing owned by people who lived in the Gold Coast, they'd park here, and their chauffeurs would live above. But those buildings have been saved. Here's another building, and I happen to sell that one, so that's why I'm showing it. And the one across the street is an example of an updated workers' cottage, made modern. I sold that one too, so that's fine. So this is on Sedgwick Avenue. Some of the new construction going in, low rise, very fancy. Have you been in any of these, Anne?
Not that particular building, no.
So this one, they're selling for the penthouses are on the market for like 1.875, so really fancy, and they look really nice. And what's great about it is they're bathed in sunshine. Across the street are low rise, 3 or 4 story buildings. So, and it's a wide street, so this just going to be beautiful. So there you go. And that's an example of the Old Town Art Fair. How much fun you can have. More examples of the Old Town Art Fair. Look how pretty it is. And usually it rains.
Oh, it does not.
This is an example of the map of the Old Town Art Fair for people who are interested. It often rains. Let's be honest, it often rains. So here's some houses that are on the market in the triangle right now. These are 210 West St. Paul's on the market for $950, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. It's got about 2,700 square feet. No parking. This is what you're going to find in Old Town. Right. Not a lot of the historic houses are going to have any parking, but it's got what do you call it? Zoned parking, so you really can find a spot. This is another house in a similar style right around the corner on Wells Street. It's been on the market forever. It's on the market for $1.150, 1728 North Wells, and again, no parking, but it's wonderfully, and it's 2,700 square feet. They're not huge, but what a great look. And then this is an old workers' cottage, 217 West Eugenie, and this has parking. I don't know where they put it. They must, vaporize the car and then reconstitute it somewhere. It's 1.825 million, and it's a 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, tiny little thing.
For 1.8.
1.8. And then we end with Anne's, what she's going to show you more of, 1721 North Fern Court, which is a very interesting property. I turn it over to you.
Okay. So, so this is, let me bring it over here so I can show. This is 1721 Fern, and it's a really interesting, kind of an oddball property. 3 homes and 3 garage parking spots. Listed for $3,750, 3-bedroom, 2 full, 2 half, 3,100 square feet.
That's right? Or is that all of it?
Well, that's how it's listed here. But let me read it to you because it's just so bizarre. Yeah. It's 1721 and 1718 Sedgwick. Sold together, but they can be divided because they have 2 PIN numbers. The main residence is the Fern, and that's the home that was converted from a horse stable. And the two other homes can be used as rentals, blah, 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 blah. But this is the main one. But isn't that outdoors so pretty?
Beautiful. It's beautiful and private.
So you know what? If you're looking for a huge home, you're not going to find it in the Old Town Triangle. Isn't that fair to say? If it's one of the historic homes,
No,
it's
you
not
can't.
going to be.
The lots are too small. They're not very deep either. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. This one's 144, but that's because it's two together. Okay, here's an example of a really cool home, 518 Eugenie, that just sold. 6-bedroom, 4.5 bath on a 36 by 108. And that is a very rare wide lot.
Very rare. Isn't that right?
But see, look at the beautiful timber in here that they preserved.
They added some beams because they took out stuff. It looks beautiful. Oh, look at that.
Cute backyard. Again, not huge bedrooms, but look how they modernized the bath.
Beautiful.
You know, that's what's going on in luxury today. Even if you don't have square feet, people are really tricking out their bathrooms. So,
well, that seems.
And then I have one more thing.
That's a big bath.
That's it for, especially for Old Town. Absolutely right. They must have combined it with something. I do want to show you one thing. We were talking before coming on air today about, you know, Old Town Triangle itself doesn't have any neighborhood school in it right now. It really doesn't have any restaurants except Twin Anchors.
Oh, yes.
I love this movie. So if you haven't seen Return to Me, go to Netflix or wherever you get your old movies and watch this. They make it an Irish place in the movie, but it's actually the Twin Anchors restaurant is the backdrop. David Duchovny is an architect working at the Lincoln Park Zoo. So it just has such great Lincoln Park and Old Town vibes to it. And it's a happy movie.
Well,
So
there are
I just had to share that.
There are a couple of others, but not many. Marge's I throw out as they've made it into a family place, but it used to be, oh my God, just a nightmare for the neighbors because it was a bar and people would be pouring out at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
When we were young, that's where everybody went, was to Marge's, right?
Yes, I know. And now it's a family friendly place. It's like, okay.
Right. So anyway, but you know, Old Town, what does Old Town do for us? Wonderful small shops, a stone's throw to Lincoln Park lakefront, right? Quick access to Lakeshore Drive, North Avenue, easy down to the shopping area of Michigan Avenue. Just a wonderful, wonderful location steeped in rich and wonderful history. I'm just such a fan of the Old Town neighborhood.
Walkable, hangoutable. You can spend a
and
day.
Wells Street has gotten crazy with restaurants and oh my goodness, so many wonderful spots.
Yeah, no, tons of young people flock to Wells Street, which has got great, active restaurants. So there's people coming in. It's really special. When I lived
Second City, we forgot mentioning Second City's right there.
I get this. Huh? It's back up.
Still there.
Well, remember, it caught fire for a little bit. So
yeah. No, it's back. Yeah.
So when I was growing up, it was really seedy. And I would tell people I live in Old Town, and they would think it was that Wells Street strip with strip clubs and bars and, the Bazaar. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a different place. I'd be like, no, I live in the Triangle.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have anything else to ask us or share with us, please leave us a comment below, or we're always happy to chat. So give us a call. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.